Forest fragmentation is a process where habitat is broken up so that it is no longer contiguous. This is effectuated by both natural forces such as geological processes, fire, rivers, lakes, or rock outcrops. Unnatural forces, being more of a rapacious nature, encompass land usage change, predominantly for agriculture, roads, plantation, timber harvesting, and urban development. Following European settlement towards the late 18th century, Australia has experienced up to a 40% loss of forest cover due to deforestation. Forests were primarily removed in coastal areas, and the expeditious nature of this clearing was in by large due to agricultural development for the sheep and wheat industry. Forest fragmentation in particular causes perturbation for Victoria's faunal state emblem, the leadbeater's possum. This nocturnal arboreal marsupial weighs a mere 120 to 160 grams and is found in the montane ash forest in the Central Highlands of Victoria that contain the tallest flowering plants in the world. The leadbeater's possums are obligate users of hollow-bearing trees for nesting sites. Currently, these are in decline as hollows in eucalyptus species take 100 to 400 years to develop from natural forces such as microbial damage, fire, physiological and mechanical injury. Primary impacts to these trees are silvicultural practices and an increased rate of extreme fires such as the 2009 Black Saturday fires in their already limited habitat, as young forests are susceptible to fire and at higher intensities. It was estimated in the 1980s it had a population of 7,500 individuals. By 2025, it is expected to experience a 90% reduction. Migration of female leadbeater's possums from the nest occurs from just 10 months of age. Fragmentation is limiting successful migration and colonisation of new areas, resulting in high mortality rates as distances greater than 2 kilometres between suitable habitat results in death. Lack of connectivity and difficulty to colonise new areas results in genetic variability being detrimentally affected. By reducing genetic variation in a population, the capability to defy potential threats is substantially reduced due to restricted fitness and increased homozygosity. Scientists conclude that populations less than 50 individuals have a low chance of survival. However, those populations above 200 have a longer-term chance of survival of greater than 100 years. As the core habitat is reduced, the edge effects are increased. Increased light can promote weeds, and species not usually located in this region may now be found, altering the composition of the original habitat. Fragmentation imposes micro-meteorological conditions such as increased winds, which affect younger trees not advanced enough to withstand elevated winds, generating a collapse of potential nest sites. Eucalyptus forests of Victoria have experienced 66% deforestation, which makes it the most cleared state in Australia. This compounds climate change as the carbon sequestered by trees is released during harvesting and production, contributing to the 1 degree Celsius increase in temperature since the 1950s, mostly in eastern Australia. This affects the leadbeater's possum as arthropod reproduction is negatively influenced during droughts, and the exudates of sap from acacia trees is not present in wet, mild summers, both of which comprise the narrow trophic range for the leadbeater's possum. As a result of forest fragmentation, the leadbeater's possum has become scant, which is why it is listed as a critically endangered species by the International Union for Conservation for Nature. To mitigate the effects of forest fragmentation imparted on the leadbeater's possum, science is being used to initiate its recovery through the generation of an advisory group in 2013. This group consists of specialists in the field as well as stakeholders. This integral group provides recommendations to the Victorian Government to aid the recovery of the leadbeater's possum, such as buffering old growth from harvesting. Science provides the basis for knowledge and is an essential foundation for decision-making policies. In the case of the leadbeater's possum, science assists the management of this endemic species in timber harvesting locations. Although the leadbeater's possum remains in an ominous state, science has created awareness and provides the means to facilitate the conservation of this highly restrictive marsupial, whilst creating a sustainable timber industry that utilises science to achieve a unified outcome.